Hello everybody and welcome to Theme Park RM. This is my slightly delayed 2023 Unwrapped video as I take a look back at my theme park season of 2023 for myself and for what I have been able to enjoy. Now, if you have been following me on social media, you will know that throughout 2023 was actually quite a difficult season for me and difficult year as a whole, as at the end of March, I sadly did lose my mother, and then a few months later, at the end of July, well, into August, I then lost my papa, or some of you might know as a grandfather, my mum's dad. And the theme park season, I must admit, really helped with the sort of grieving process of that. Throughout the year, I managed to take a number of trips to Port Park, as I always do. It seems to be the one park I go to most. Of course, I enjoyed at the start of the year, the start of the season, the carnival, followed on by Mardi Gras as well. The entertainment team at Port Park, I must admit, do such a great job at providing the entertainment for everyone throughout both events, or throughout the whole season, with all the different events Fort Park has to offer. And of course I did manage to take the first European theme park trip of 2023, and for the very first time I went out to check out Port Aventura. That was the very first time I'd ever been there, and it was a good trip but not brilliant, I would say. I think partly because I picked the wrong time of year to go, so I was a lot of queues when I went, and also sometimes it got a bit frustrating with the lack of English spoke by staff. Although it is Spain and you should expect not a huge amount of English, but you would still expect a bit better. And of course I went to Alton Towers and I checked out the Curse at Alton Manor, which replaced Duel. I must admit it was an absolutely brilliant retheme and I really did enjoy it. Of course, over at Fort Park as well, you did have the retheme of Dan Brown's Ghost Train into Ghost Train as well, which was good and a great improvement, especially the removal of Via from the ride. And in August as well, I did attend Alton Towers for the Attraction Source Summer Festival 2023. This was my very first attendance to an enthusiast event, and I must admit the team behind Attraction Source done an absolutely brilliant job at doing what they'd done. And as normal, I did go to Fort Park's Oktoberfest, something I do every single year. This year I didn't go to Alton Towers for Oktoberfest, bearing in mind that I'd already been at the start of season and then at the end of August as well at Alton Towers. I'd already been twice. And then before we knew it, Fright Nights was here at Fort Park. So many great mazes this year, and it's such a brilliant lineup I feel for 2023's Fright Nights. When you look at Stitches a Maze, that has to be my top maze of 2023 at Fort Park. So many frights. Every time I went in there, I jumped because of the clown mainly. That clown jumping out at you at different points every single time. At Fright Nights as well, I did attend the Buckwheats brunch, and it was the only way for this year you could see the Buckwheats, and it was a brilliant way to meet them, get up and close and personal in a smaller group, and it was well worth the money. And I can't forget that I did actually get to Drayton Manor once again this year. Only one trip again, and mainly because of Shockwave being the last chance to ride it as a stand-up coaster. And of course in 2024 we know it will no longer be a stand-up coaster. I did also take throughout the year 2 trips over to Chessington World of Adventure, mainly to check out Mandrill Mayhem. I did go earlier on in the year of 2023 and then at the end of the year for the pass holders event. Now, jumping to December, I took a second European trip this year, or last year, over to Efteling. And I must admit, it was such a brilliant theme park for me to go to for the very first time. I try to avoid as much as I can looking up rides and looking at POVs, because Efteling is one of the places where a lot of the rides you can actually film on with a GoPro chest mounted. And I had a brilliant time. Baron 1898 was an absolutely brilliant and fun roller coaster. And that was one of the highlights, I must admit. And I was lucky when I went because the queues were minimal throughout the whole time I was there. So that was so lucky for me. And I just really enjoyed it. Of course, I had so many trips over in the UK to parks, and it helped a lot with my sort of grieving process. And even just talking to some of you as well has helped me a lot. So thank you to those who did reach out to me throughout the year. And I'm now looking forward very much to this year. I'll be doing a separate video shortly talking about this year and all the highlights we have to look forward to. And I'm aiming to do a lot more content this year on my platforms, so do keep an eye out for that. Thank you once again for all your support in 2023, and I look forward to another year, an absolutely exciting year, I must admit, during 2024. Goodbye for now, and I wish you all the best for the upcoming season. It's going to be a good one, I think.